It's the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi guys, welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Thank you for being here. Today's video. You know what the last words Andy Griffith said to Don Knotts? Let's take a look. What was the final thing that Andy Griffith said to Don Knotts? No matter what you're guessing, it's probably different from what you'd think. But they were last words, totally befitting these two men who were lifelong best friends as well as frequent collaborators. But before I get into it, I just got to say that these two were one of the best comedy duos ever. Of course, Andy was a straight man to Don's silly but lovable Barney Fife. It really is a shame that Don left the Andy Griffith Show after the 5th season. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. There were some pretty darn good things that came out of his exit from the show. I count on my list of favorite movies 2 films starring Don Knotts, The Incredible Mr. Olympus, and The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. And of course, over the years, Andy and Don found ways to reunite multiple times, first in a television movie called Return to Mayberry, where they reprised their classic TV characters. Then later on, during the final 4 seasons of the Griffiths' successful courtroom drama Matlock, Don appeared as Ben's pesky but lovable neighbor, Les Calhoun. However, a few days after Don's passing, on February 24th, 2006, Andy Griffith appeared on NBC Weekly's morning program, Today, to share with the world his thoughts about his best friend. On that day, he told show anchor Matt Lauer that he wanted to honor one of the kindest, brightest, and funniest men that he ever knew. It was clearly a difficult moment for Andy, whose, truth be told, didn't always have the kind and gentle demeanor he modeled as sheriff from Mayberry. He had lost one of his dearest friends, and I suspect appearing on a network morning show really wasn't what he was wanting to be doing. That said, he soldiered on, and in between the routine questions, and I'm sure he knew he was going to be asked, he shared some additional information about his beloved co-star and friend. Andy shared in the interview his final words with Don, who he called Jess, even in those last moments, because he always enjoyed teasing him about his first name. For those who don't know, Don's full name is Jesse Donald Knotts. Andy encouraged Don to fight, to not give up, to breathe. And even though Don was fully conscious, Andy believed that Don could hear him by the way that he seemed to fight harder to breathe when Andy was talking to him. However, as much as Andy wanted to see Don pull through, he knew that aside from the encouragement, there was something even more important that he had to tell him. He leaned in even closer to his dear friend and whispered, "I love you." Let's be clear, I'm quite sure that Don already knew how much his friend loved him, and I'm certain that Andy knew that Don knew it. But in their last moments together, it's important that Andy said it. If you think about it, I truly believe that there are no more powerful words than those 3 when you string them together. They have the power to do so much good in this world, and quite frankly, I feel like we don't say them enough. Here are the exact words that Andy shared with Today way back in 2006. I lost my best friend. I was with him just before he died. He was kind of unconscious. I don't know that he could hear me, but we all believe he heard my voice. I told him I loved him. His first name was Jess. He hated that name, but he told me that once, and so I couldn't help but call him Jess. I said, "Jess, breathe." And you know, I saw his chest heave, and I said, "That's a boy. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing." And his shoulder moved, so I believe he heard my voice. That's all I got for you. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget, I'm headed home tomorrow, so I'm going to try to get one out for you tomorrow before I leave, but we'll see. Please check out Classic Rural Comedies, Facts and Trivia. Here comes the rain again. It's on the Andy Griffith Show, of course, and a sitcom legend that was on the Andy Griffith Show and The Office. And classic rock, country music, facts and trivia. It is on this day in 1967. The Beach Boys kicked off a weird, historic, divisive weekend in Hawaii. And Faith Entertainment. The Chosen cast weep during a crucifixion scene and emotional behind-the-scene photos that I'll show you over there. I'm going to get off here before it rains too hard and can't hear me. You guys have a great day. God bless you. And I'm praying for you.